Most people go through life guessing, reacting, and hoping for the best. But the ones who truly win, they see moves before they happen. They don't wait, they prepare. And after today, so will you. What if I told you that people are walking scripts, running the same predictable patterns over and over without realizing it? Most people think behavior is random. It's not. Every action, every reaction, every decision follows a hidden formula. And once you learn how to decode it, you won't just predict what people are going to do next. You'll know how to influence them before they even decide. I call this the Predictive Loop Method because it works by identifying behavioral loops, the repetitive cycles people go through in conversations, decisions, and interactions. Most people repeat these loops unconsciously, but not you, because today you're going to see the patterns most people are blind to. Once you understand this, you won't just react to situations. You'll already know what's coming, and when you know what's coming, you control the game. This method works in 3 simple steps. The key to predicting someone's next move isn't magic, it's observation. And the first step, understanding their baseline. Before you can predict anyone's behavior, you need a reference point. Their normal behavior when they're relaxed, unguarded, and simply being themselves. Why? Because the moment someone deviates from that, it signals an internal shift. Most people miss these shifts because they're too focused on what's being said. Big mistake. Words can be manipulated, rehearsed, or disguised. Body language, tone, and micro-expressions, they don't lie. Once you learn to read these cues, you'll instantly spot when someone is nervous, hiding something, feeling pressured, or about to make a move, even before they realize it themselves. How to apply it? 1. Observe their normal patterns before you make any judgments. Every person has a default mode, the way they naturally talk, move, and react when they're comfortable. To predict deviations, you first need to understand what normal looks like for them. Start by paying attention to speech patterns. Do they normally talk fast or slow? Do they use a lot of hand gestures, or are they more controlled? Are their sentences smooth or choppy? Body language. Are they usually relaxed, animated, or stiff? Do they lean in when they talk, or do they keep a distance? Facial expressions. Some people smile naturally while talking, while others keep a neutral face. Observe what feels usual for them. Why this matters. Once you know someone's baseline, any sudden shift stands out like a red flag. 2. Look for subtle changes, the micro shifts that expose their thoughts. People rarely announce what they're feeling. Instead, their body reacts before their brain catches up. These tiny, unconscious changes are the key to reading and predicting behavior. Here's what to watch for. Speech shifts. If someone who usually speaks confidently starts talking faster, hesitates, or stumbles over words, something has changed internally. Maybe they're hiding something. Maybe they're suddenly nervous. Either way, it's a signal. Blinking and eye contact. A sudden increase in blinking, looking away more than usual, or breaking eye contact at key moments suggests discomfort or deception. Fidgeting and posture changes. When people are about to lie, make a decision, or feel pressured, they often shift their weight, adjust their clothing, or touch their face. These micro movements are unconscious, meaning they can't control them. Voice tone. A shift in tone, from relaxed to high-pitched, softer, or more aggressive, is a giveaway that someone's emotional state has changed, often before they even express it in words. 3. Watch their reactions, not their words. People lie, their body doesn't. Words are carefully chosen, but the body reacts instantly. If you focus only on what someone says, you'll miss the real message. Here's how to catch inconsistencies that reveal the truth. Forced laughter or smiles. If someone laughs at something that isn't funny, or smiles when the emotion doesn't match, they're likely masking discomfort. Delayed reactions. When someone takes just a fraction too long to respond, it could mean they're thinking of a way to spin their answer instead of telling the truth. Tension in the body. Watch their shoulders, jaw, and hands. A relaxed person moves fluidly. Someone feeling pressure stiffens up, often without realizing it. Why this works. Once you lock in someone's baseline, their deviations become obvious. It's like noticing when someone suddenly switches their walking rhythm. You don't think about it consciously, but your brain instantly picks up on the shift. That's what you're training your mind to do with people's behavior. From now on, you'll instantly sense when something is off in a conversation. Spot lies, hidden emotions, and internal conflicts before they're spoken. Predict decisions before they're made, giving you a massive strategic advantage. And here's the best part. They won't even know you're doing it. People think they make decisions in the moment. They don't. Their brain signals the action before they take it. You just have to know where to look. Every action has a trigger, a thought, an emotion, or an external stimulus sets off a chain reaction in the brain before the body follows through. Most people don't notice this happening, but if you do, you'll start predicting actions before they happen, turning every conversation, negotiation, or confrontation into a game you're already winning. The key is to catch the exact moment before someone acts. This is where their unconscious mind betrays their intent, and once you learn to spot it, you'll see decisions forming in real time. How to apply it. 1. Watch for micro-expressions, the hidden emotion before the mask. Micro-expressions are split-second facial movements that reveal real emotions before the brain covers them up. Most people try to control their expressions, but these tiny flashes of emotion happen faster than they can consciously suppress. A flicker of anger before a forced smile? They're about to disagree with you, but they won't say it outright. A quick eyebrow raise before a neutral expression? They're interested, but don't want to seem too eager. A moment of disgust before nodding? They don't actually like what's happening, even if they're pretending to agree. These micro movements last less than half a second, but once you train your eyes to see them, you'll always know what someone is really feeling before they say a word. 2. Pay attention to their breathing, the silent signal of a decision. People don't realize this, but breathing changes right before someone lies, hesitates, or makes a move. The body reacts before the brain catches up, which means faster, shallower breathing. They're anxious, feeling pressured, or about to lie. A sudden deep breath? They're mentally preparing themselves for a decision, good or bad. Holding their breath for a second before speaking? They're about to say something important, or something they don't fully believe. Why this works? The nervous system controls breathing automatically, so people can't fake or control these reactions in the moment. It's a direct line to their internal state. 3. Notice pre-action cues, what happens right before they move. Just before someone takes action, their body prepares. They're not aware of it, but their weight shifts, their hands adjust, or their gaze flickers toward what they're thinking about. Before someone speaks, they glance at the person they expect approval from. Want to know who's really in charge in a group? Watch who people look at before they talk. Before someone moves, their weight subtly shifts. If they're about to leave, argue, or make a physical move, they'll adjust their stance a split second beforehand. Before someone makes a decision, they often touch their face or scratch their neck. This is a stress signal, meaning they're weighing their options, even if they act like they've already decided. These tiny pre-action cues expose what's coming next before it happens. Why this works? The human brain is predictable. It processes emotions and decisions in a sequence. 1. Subconscious reaction, micro-expressions, body language, breathing shifts. 2. Pre-action cues, adjusting position, looking at key people, shifting weight. 3. Conscious action, speaking, moving, making a decision. Most people only notice step 3, but you'll start seeing steps 1 and 2 before anyone even realizes they're making a move. This is how you go from reacting to predicting. The transformation, seeing moves before they happen. Once you recognize trigger points, your interactions will change forever. You'll know when someone is about to lie before they even speak. You'll sense when a conversation is shifting before anyone else picks up on it. You'll spot decisions forming before they're made. Most people walk through life guessing what others will do next. You'll already know. If you could predict someone's next move, how much power would you have? What if you could sense a lie before they even told it? What if you could tell exactly when someone was hiding something? What if you could predict someone's decisions before they even made them? Once you understand the patterns of human behavior, you'll always be 2 steps ahead. You'll turn resistance into obedience effortlessly, trap people in their own logic and make them agree with you. Command influence without ever demanding it. Make them follow you and think it was their choice. By the time they realize what happened, it will already be too late. Get your copy of the Whisper's Handbook now and use code DARKFRIEND for an exclusive discount. If you can see the next move before it happens, you don't just react, you control the game. Now that you've learned how to read patterns and recognize trigger points, the final step is where real power begins. Not just predicting behavior, but actively shaping it. Most people react to situations, but the ones who win, in negotiations, conversations, or influence, are those who anticipate and guide outcomes before they unfold. Here's how you take control. How to apply it. 1. Anticipate reactions in conversations. Read the shift before they speak. People don't just react to words. They react to tone, body language, and emotional triggers. The moment you mention something sensitive, controversial, or challenging, their body reacts first. Signs. They're about to push back. Their shoulders tense, they cross their arms, their breathing changes, or they shift slightly away from you. How to control the reaction. Instead of waiting for them to resist, soften your approach before they even open their mouth. Say, I know this might sound different from what you're used to, but hear me out. I'm curious about your take on this. What's your first thought? This prevents their brain from going into defense mode and keeps them open to your ideas. 2. Use pre-framing to guide their decisions. If someone is already preparing to say no, resist, or disagree, don't fight it. Redirect it. The trick is to make them feel like the decision was always theirs. Instead of saying, "You should do this," triggers resistance because it feels like an order. Say, "If you were in my position, what would you do?" Forces them to think as if they're making the decision themselves. "What do you think the smartest move would be?" Leads them toward the conclusion you want them to reach without telling them directly. This technique hijacks their thought process and makes them take ownership of the idea, meaning they're far more likely to follow through. 3. Redirect negative reactions before they happen. If someone's body language signals resistance, hesitation, or defensiveness, they're about to lock into a negative response. But if you act fast, you can disrupt this pattern before it solidifies. How to break the pattern? Change the subject for a few seconds. A quick distraction breaks their internal loop and resets their response. Adjust your posture. Lean in slightly or lower your voice. This disrupts their subconscious rhythm and makes them refocus. Use a time delay. Instead of responding immediately, pause. This creates tension and forces their brain to reset. If done correctly, they won't even realize their initial reaction has shifted. The science behind this hack. This works because the brain is wired for patterns. Once you start recognizing them, your brain begins predicting and adjusting in real time. Without effort, micro-expressions and body language expose subconscious thoughts. You're seeing what they're thinking before they even say it. Pattern recognition makes prediction automatic. The more you practice, the faster your brain detects what's coming next. Controlling reactions shifts power in your favor. When you anticipate and guide responses, you control the conversation before they even realize it's happening. The result? You're always ahead of the game. The transformation. Becoming unpredictable yourself. Now that you can read people instantly, the final step is making yourself unreadable. If no one can predict your next move, you become the ultimate wild card. Impossible to manipulate, impossible to control. Here's how to stay a step ahead. Change your patterns deliberately. Master a still, unreadable face. Confidence in silence makes others uncomfortable and forces them to reveal more than they intended. When you can see through everyone else but remain a mystery yourself, you hold the ultimate advantage. At this level, you don't just predict behavior, you shape it, control it, and manipulate it effortlessly. Most people will never reach this level, but you just unlocked it. Knowledge without action is useless. If you want to master this skill, you have to train your mind to see what others miss. And the best way to do that? Start today. This isn't just theory, it's a skill. And like any skill, the more you use it, the sharper it gets. Here's your challenge. Step 1. Observe someone's baseline behavior. Pay attention to how they normally speak. Tone, speed, volume. Notice their usual body language. Do they gesture a lot? Stay still? Lean forward or back? Lock in what normal looks like for them. Step 2. Spot a trigger point. Watch for the micro shifts, the flicker of emotion before they hide it, the slight hesitation before they respond, the subtle tension in their posture. These tiny changes reveal their next move before they even realize it. Step 3. Predict their next move. Before they act, make a mental guess. Will they agree or disagree? Will they change their opinion? Will they hesitate? See how often you're right. The more you do this, the more accurate you'll become. At first, you might miss things, but keep practicing. And soon you won't just notice patterns, you'll anticipate them. You'll start predicting behavior with such accuracy that it will feel like mind reading. And when that happens, you don't just navigate life, you control it.